So I did not even know that this was a thing until I had a chronically ill kid, and it is honestly a lifesaver. So every major city is going to have this. Just Google mobile IV, and most places are going to have it. Like we found one in San Francisco. We have a place that we use in Minnesota. We found a place in Traverse City, Michigan. And what it is it's nurses that can come out with an IV and administer it wherever you are. And usually they have Zofran. You have to check because some places only do hydration, but we always go for the places that can administer Toradol, Zofran, Benadryl, B12 vitamins, that kind of thing. And it's like 99% of the time the same exact thing that Maya would have gotten at the emergency room, minus the exposure to an emergency room, a 5 to 7 hour visit, and a huge emergency room bill. The cost of a mobile IV is usually $150 to $300 depending on what you get. And then, of course, you always want to tip your nurse as well. So it's significantly cheaper than an emergency room visit, and it achieves the same thing. So we have a kid that has POTS, and dehydration is obviously a huge issue with her, and it's very cyclical. Like if she gets a POTS flare-up, she starts vomiting, and then the vomiting further flares her POTS, and she gets super dehydrated. So it's like as soon as we start seeing these symptoms, we get an IV in her, and this is how we've been able to get her to rebound so she doesn't fall back into that cycle that got her into the hospital the last time. And the nurses are always fantastic. So the nurse that we use in Minnesota was a 25-year children's hospital pediatric nurse, and the one that we found in Traverse City, Jen, was a hospice nurse. So these are very experienced nurses that are really great at putting in IVs. They keep the patient really comfortable, and it has been a lifesaver for us. It's not cheap, but it's cheaper than the ER. The company that we used in Traverse City is Revive and Restore. The nurse is Jen, if you're local to that area and this is a service that you ever need. And then also there is always a physician that they talk to before they come out and give you anything. So there's a physician that oversees what they are administering. It's not just a nurse, operating on their own. There is a physician always behind the nurses with anything that they decide to give the patient.